What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Dominic Rich, and I'm here to give you my predictions for match day 15 of CONMEBOL 2022 FIFA World Cup qualifiers. As you guys could see, Brazil and Argentina have only played 13 games, but those two teams have already booked their place to Qatar. So I'd like to take the time to congratulate Brazil and also congratulate Argentina. So 2 spots are already taken, which means that there's only 2 direct spots left, and the 5th place team will go into the Interconfederations playoff to play the team coming over from Asia. So in today's video, I'm going to give you a comprehensive update of what happened so far in CONMEBOL World Cup qualifiers. I'll give you predictions for match day 15, and we'll talk permutations and all that good stuff on all the teams. Look, Paraguay is still in the hunt, Bolivia, Uruguay, Chile, Peru, Colombia, and Ecuador, but I think Venezuela have the odds stacked up against them, and they probably won't make it from the position that they're in right now. But it's going to be a tense finish to proceedings in CONMEBOL like we had in 2018, where on the final match day, a lot of twists and turns. So without further ado, guys, let's just take a look at the table there. You see Brazil first with 35 points. They have qualified already. They haven't lost a game yet. 2 draws, 11 wins. And Argentina qualified already, yet to lose a game, 29 points. So Ecuador doing very well in third, 23 points, with a 6-point gap between themselves and Colombia and Peru, who occupy the 4th and 5th place spots. Chile, who are still very much in the hunt, in 6th, along with Uruguay, who are 7th with 16 points. Bolivia, who did pick up a few wins at the back end of qualifiers there and put themselves in contention to still get one of those places. They are 8th with 15 points. And Paraguay, who have fallen off the boil a bit, are still in contention as well with 13 points, but probably need to win their remaining matches if they stand a chance. And at the bottom of the table, the only team from South America yet to make the debut at the World Cup, Venezuela, with 7 points. So we're going to talk about the 5 matches that's coming up on match day 15, and those games will be played this Thursday, and that's the 26th of January. So look, I just want to do this because I've been talking World Cup qualifiers from the get-go, and I want to give you guys a comprehensive update for the ones who actually are interesting. So look, don't forget, today's stream is brought to you by the lovely folks over at manscaped.com, who are the best in men's grooming. The Performance Package 4.0 is perfect for you if you want to get your confidence up. And it definitely did a lot for me, and it could do the same for you. There's a lot of accessories over on the website that you could choose from, and I recommend the cologne and the body wash. Use the coupon code 20% off. Well, the coupon code Dominic Rich to get yourself 20% off. All the links would be in the description box down below. Shipping is always free. Trust me, your balls would thank you. So, without further ado, let's talk CONMEBOL Match Day 15 predictions. So, guys, I do have notes here. I will be referring to the notes from time to time, most of the time, because I have my thoughts written down here and all the, the talking points that I want to touch on. So, for Ecuador versus Brazil, it's a tough test for the Ecuadorians coming up against the best team in South America, already qualified, and it's going to be very tough for the Ecuadorians to get over this Brazilian hurdle. So Gustavo Alfaro versus Chiche. Ecuador have exceeded expectations, in my opinion. I do have Ecuador qualifying for the World Cup, by the way, guys. So just want to put that one out there. My World Cup qualifying prediction video is out there, so go check it out. And the very young squad, and very young and inexperienced, I should say, squad, spearheaded by Ena Valencia, and they have looked really good, and they will look to spring a surprise on a decked out Brazilian team who are with without Neymar this time around. He's going through some injury problems at the moment. So in the first game, they did lose 2-0 to Brazil away. This would be a home game for the Ecuadorians, and they will look to get something from the game. So the fact that Brazil have already qualified, I think they would look to experiment. I did take a look at the squad, and that squad is very, very scary still. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to look, even though they qualified already, I don't think Brazil want to lose matches. They're not going to go out there to play around and lose. But the fact that they have qualified, they might look to tinker around, weigh up their options and see the best combination. It's pretty young front line as well. The attack is very young, but talented. You can't forget that one. And it is going to be an uphill battle for Ecuador, in my opinion. Look, I think Ecuador are in a good position to qualify for Qatar. But look, man, I think Brazil are going to be too much for them, and they're going to lose the game. Brazil 2, Ecuador 0, in my opinion. The wait will continue for Ecuador, where they last made the World Cup in 2014, ironically hosted by Brazil. So that's my prediction for that game. I should actually get the fixtures right on the screen for you guys, which will be a better thing instead of just, talking from there. So look, Ecuador, Brazil. I'm going for Brazil 2, Ecuador 0. Brazil would continue to rack up points, while Ecuador would have to wait on the upcoming games. So look, for Ecuador, let me just let you guys know who they play, who they have coming up next in the last bit of games there, and so you get more insight on that. So for Ecuador, who are in third right now, they have performed admirably, right? Their games coming up against Peru, Paraguay, and Argentina. So they have Brazil and Argentina for their last 4 games, which is very tough. So if they can't get results from those games, they would have to beat Peru. They would have to get something from Paraguay. There is a situation as well where they might, even if they don't get anything, they might just still squeeze into one of those spots, direct spot, or even the playoff spot, because of the way things are going and how close things are right now. So congrats to Brazil, and for Ecuador, who I think will qualify eventually, but they won't get anything from this game. So we move into the second match, and you could see there Paraguay versus Uruguay. That's a derby, and Paraguay right now 9th. Well, they're not doing well at all. They're not doing well. They're 9th. Imagine that they are 9th. We would all, think that it would have been Bolivia, but it's Paraguay 9th with 13 points. They have really fallen by the wayside lately. And they come up against Uruguay, who also have been falling off the boil quite a bit, to the point where they had to relieve Oscar Tabarez of his duties. So the last meeting between these two teams, they did meet at the Copa America 2020, where Uruguay won 1-0, and in the World Cup qualifying game, it was a 0-0 draw. So Paraguay haven't fared well in their last few games against their neighbors, Uruguay, as well. And the fact that both teams are hunting for valuable points, this will be a very, very feisty affair, and I expect it to be a very, very entertaining one. So for Paraguay, Guillermo Chileto took over from fellow Argentinian Eduardo Berizzo in October of 2021. And fun fact, guys, he is a twin. He does have a twin brother by the name of Gustavo, who is his assistant head coach. So it's pretty cool, man. Pretty cool. You know what I mean? And looking at the current squad, guys, to be honest, it would take a miracle for Paraguay to qualify even with the playoffs with 4 matches left, in my opinion, especially against direct competitors of Uruguay, Peru, and Ecuador. And not to mention, they do have a game coming up against Brazil. So the odds are really stacked up against Paraguay, who I think came very close the last time around, but lost to Venezuela, as from what I could recall on the final match day. So this ain't gonna be it, man. It's gonna be rough. I don't think they'll qualify for the World Cup. But for this game, though, let's stick with this game right now. For Uruguay, longtime Uruguay coach, as I mentioned, Oscar Tabarez, was relieved of his duties after 15 successful years in charge. But Diego Alonso takes over, and his aim is to get Uruguay out of their current rut, and what a task that will be. But they do have 100-cap veterans in the likes of Luis Suarez, Edinson Cavani, Diego Godin, and Martin Cáceres, along with the supporting cast. They would need to actually make a U-turn on their form right about now. Dreadful, dreadful form. Uruguay got the personnel, but do they have the ability to execute and pick up wins? They haven't been good at all. Last 4 games, Uruguay have lost all 4 games. And that is horrible. I think that's where the World Cup qualifiers campaign just was derailed, and they had to do something drastic and get rid of the manager who was dealing with some illness and, couldn't walk and things like that, hardly walk. So I could see why they needed a fresh mind in the setup there. So, look, luckily for the Sky Blues, both Brazil and Argentina are out of the way. They don't have to play any of Argentina or Brazil, and they would have Peru and Chile to overcome, along with Paraguay. So, look, I'm telling you, it is gonna be an uphill climb still, but they do have Venezuela, Paraguay, games that they should be able to manage. I'm saying should. And the games, I think, against Chile and Peru are going to be the tougher ones. That's from just what I think. No Muslera in the squad, and that's a shock to me. So they'll be inexperienced at the back there in terms of the goalkeeper. And I think that could actually be an issue. But I think they would do well enough to turn their form around and pick up a win after 4 consecutive losses. Imagine if they had won 3 of those games. Uruguay would have been on 24 points right now, in a really good position to take one of those direct spots. I do think I predicted Uruguay to make the World Cup. Of course, look at the squad they got. And when I said supporting cast, you think about Fede Valverde, you think about Rodrigo Bentancur, Jose Maria Jimenez, and the list goes on and on, man. Darwin Nunez. Come on, man. Come on. They're too good not to qualify, but there's a possibility they're 7th right now. They need to at least be 5th to have a chance. And they have Chile and Peru ahead. Chile on goal difference and Peru by only 1 point. Colombia by only 1 point too. So it's very, very close. I'm going for Uruguay to win this game 2-1, get the better of their neighbors Paraguay, and put themselves in a very, very strong position to get one of those World Cup spots or even the playoff spot. So we're going to move into the third fixture, and that's Chile versus Argentina. This is going to be a tough, very, very tough game for Chile here, if you ask me. Just want to mention that, you know what I mean? It's going to be tough. Playing Argentina is very, very tough. But Argentina would be without Messi, so that might be a window of opportunity right there for La Roja. So Chile in 6th, 16 points. Argentina 2nd, 29 points. They have qualified already. Last time was at the Copa America. The last meeting was at the Copa America, a 1-1 draw. And in World Cup qualifiers, also a 1-1 draw. So there's hope. There's inspiration that Chile could draw from to at least get a point to add to their tally right now. So their head coach Martin Lasarte still in contention for a World Cup spot, having won 3 consecutive games in 6th and 16 points with Brazil and Argentina to play. Bolivia and Uruguay were both teams competing for the same 2 remaining spots and playoffs. points will be hard to pick up indeed. Bolivia in La Paz is going to be a tough fixture as well for Chile. So they do have the odds stacked up against them big time. And may I repeat, Argentina, Bolivia in La Paz, Brazil in Brazil, and they will host Uruguay in the final game. It's going to be very, very tough for Chile though. So even though they had a recent, surge, they did lose to Ecuador, but before that, they won 3 games in a row to bring themselves back in contention. They looked doomed, but they really picked up their World Cup qualifiers campaign. Look, notable absentee would be Arturo Vidal, suspended, but they would definitely be looking at the experienced 100 cap men in Claudio Bravo, the goalkeeper, Gary Medel, Mauricio Isla, Alexis Sanchez, and Eduardo Vargas. Brent Brereton could provide that inspiration that they need because the striker who plays in the English Championship has been in very, very good form as of late. So for Argentina, Lionel Scaloni's side have already booked a place in Qatar and have decided to rest their talismanic captain Lionel Messi, and this could give teams hope. It may be false hope, but it's hope nevertheless. And especially with Maximiliano Meza back in the squad. I know some of you guys may understand the Meza jokes from the 2018 World Cup, but still, look, that's not a good sign. But I don't know how Meza gets into these teams though. But the squad does look strong. Dybala, Lautaro Martinez. You have, a lot of, Angel Di Maria still in the team. Nicolas Otamendi, Julian Alvarez just signed for Manchester City as well. Yay, yay, yay. The list goes on. Angel Correa. Team is still very much stacked up, man. I know there's a lot of names I could, Lo Celso, De Paul. The list goes on, man. Emiliano Martinez, Emiliano Buendia, all these guys. The team is really good. But how are they going to fare without Messi? That's the whole thing. Messi is the glue. Messi is the glue, though. And without his presence, I think, it's all up in the air. I actually think Chile are going to get a point from this game, and I'm predicting a 1-1 draw and La Roja to stay in the hunt. Indeed. So with a point, Chile will go up to 17 points, and with 3 matches left, they would really, really look to rally and continue picking up points. But it's going to be tough. The teams that's left are competing for those spots as well, and, they do have Brazil to play, as I did mention earlier. So, yeah, man. Yeah. 1-1 in my opinion. We're going to move on to the 4th game. We're definitely doing well. And if you're watching the video, thanks for watching. Thanks for staying here. Like the video. Definitely appreciate that. So, the 4th game, Colombia versus Peru. Colombia in 4th. With 17 points. Peru in 5th with 17 points, with only goal difference separating the 2 teams. So the last meeting was a World Cup qualifying game where Colombia won the game 3-0. They did meet in the Copa America group stages where Peru won it 2-1, and Colombia won the 3rd place playoff game for the last Copa America 3-2. So I don't think we're going to get a draw for this game. There will be a winner. Somebody's going to take it. So for Ronaldo Rueda's Los Cafeteros, Colombia, they have remarkably drawn 6 out of their last 9 games. And I don't understand how they managed to do that with all the prolific attackers in their team. That's indeed a mystery. But the goals have definitely dried up. And the race for 2 direct spots and the playoff is as hot as Qatar in the summertime. There was no place in the squad this time around for Duvan Zapata nor Luis Muriel, but James, Cuadrado, and Falcao would need to back up their solid defense with a good attacking display on home soil. With Argentina, without Messi this time around, Bolivia and Venezuela to play, along with this game against Peru, Colombia would definitely be confident of qualifying directly for Qatar. Because, look, Bolivia not going to be easy, but it's a team that win probability for Colombia is going to be very high. And you're coming up against Argentina without Messi, there's always a chance there. And you have Venezuela. And I always say, whenever you have Bolivia and Venezuela to play, you must take 6 points. If you can't take 6 points off those teams, then you're definitely in deep trouble and probably do not deserve to qualify for no damn World Cup. No disrespect to those teams, but you got to beat them, man. You really, really got to beat them, or else you would put yourself in a spot of bother. So for the Blanquiroja of Peru, they returned to the grand stage in 2018 after a 36-year hiatus. And under current head coach Ricardo Gareca, they achieved that. And it's been a stellar performance by them so far, if you ask me. And with 4 games left, 2 spots, and the playoffs still up for grabs, which was the path that they took back in 2018 when they ended up defeating New Zealand. They would draw inspiration from that and look to at least get back to the playoffs. So the core players of Yoshimar Yutun, Christian Cueva, Andre Carrillo, Renato Tapia, Edinson Flores, Luis Advincula, and the goalkeeper Pedro Gallese, and new addition Gianluca Lapadilla could inspire Peru to back-to-back World Cups. Paulo Guerrera, Raul Ruiz Diaz, and Jefferson Farfan miss out this time around. So the squad still does have that core base of players that we all know, all the popular names, the familiar names that's been around since God knows when. They're still there, and this team is going to be a very, very difficult team to beat. I think the draw kings right now in CONMEBOL qualifiers, Colombia, are going to end up drawing this one again. I don't think they're going to defeat Peru. I'm going for a 1-1 draw. I don't know why Duvan Zapata and Luis Muriel were actually left out, but, if you know more on that, let me know in the comments. But I think it's going to be very, very tough to break down this Peruvian team, and Gallese is a very, very quality goalkeeper, and we know how dangerous Peru could be. So I'm going for a 1-1 draw. I don't mean to sound boring or anything, but I'm gonna play it safe with a draw there. So then we move into the 5th and final game for match week 15, and that's Venezuela versus Bolivia, the 2 weakest teams in the Confederation according to FIFA rankings. So Venezuela 8th with 7 points. I think they're doomed. They won't qualify, not even as a playoff spot. I think that's it for them. Unless they win all 4 remaining matches, go up to 19 points, and the other teams just keep drawing and losing, But I think even with that, it won't be enough for Venezuela to sneak in. So yet another World Cup cycle where Venezuela failed to make their debut. So for Bolivia, they are 8th with 15 points. You think Bolivia would be at the bottom, but they qualified back in 1994 and haven't been back since, and will be looking to do so. There is hope for Bolivia to actually qualify for the World Cup again. So for Venezuela, Jose Peckerman took over as head coach on November 30th. This would be his first assignment as head coach, first match in charge, in what looks like a lost cause. So I think they actually brought in Jose Peckerman maybe to work from now until the next World Cup cycle. But the man is 72 years old, so I doubt. I think it's just to appoint a manager, just to appoint a head coach, just to have somebody there. And there's Copa Americas and things to come. So I don't think it's to work. Maybe it's to mentor someone to take over in the future, but let's see how that one is. So, look, it definitely looks like a lost cause, but let us see. And especially with the fact that Bolivia, Uruguay, and Colombia need points, and Argentina is the other fixture. I don't think they win any of these games, but you never ever know, man. You never ever know. It's football. The ball is round. Anything could definitely happen. But especially if we learn anything from the 2018 World Cup qualifiers, where Venezuela, who were already basically can't qualify no more, defeated Paraguay, and I think that prevented Paraguay from qualifying. So look, for Venezuela, there could be the banana peel that's, left in qualifiers here, and teams would need to be very, very careful coming up against them. The squad looks pretty solid in my opinion. I think they just need some guidance, and maybe Jose Peckerman could provide them with that. Jefferson Soltado, what a live wire. Edward Bello, he's a quality player. Darwin Machis, these are all a breath of fresh air in the Venezuela setup. Not the same old Josef Martinez or Solomon Rondon. You have the likes of, what's his name? The captain there, Thomas Rincon. No. These guys, these new guys on the scene, they look very, very good. So, look, for Bolivia, Cesar Farias Laverde. They have been a thorn in the side of their rivals and will look to return to the grand stage after 28 years in the wilderness. Could they pull it off? Guys, it's possible, but the likes of Chile, Colombia, and Brazil won't be pushovers. They have to win this game against Venezuela and then approach those games, and then you'll cross that bridge when you get there. But look, Juan Carlos Arce, Marcelo Martins Moreno, and this very close-knit squad could pull off something special in the 4 remaining games, because what they showed us recently is that they are capable of winning football games. And you know what they have working for them? Teams go into the matches complacent, and another thing they have going for them is that home base in La Paz at the high altitude, where they're very difficult to beat there. So look, for my prediction here, I'm going to go for Bolivia to defeat Venezuela 2-1, and to really make things interesting in CONMEBOL World Cup qualifying, if they do manage to pick up a win. Let's take a look at what the table could look like according to my predictions, right? So before we do, next week we do have Bolivia coming up against Chile, Uruguay, Venezuela, Argentina, Colombia, Brazil versus Paraguay, Peru versus Ecuador. Did they reschedule the Brazil-Argentina game? Are we going to get to see that? I don't know. They might actually just cancel that game, give Argentina the points. So, look, according to my predictions here, right? Brazil game there against Ecuador to draw. So I'm predicting Brazil to go up to 36 points, Ecuador to go up to 24. Well, no, I actually predicted Ecuador to lose. So Brazil to go up to 38, Ecuador to remain the same. Pardon me there. I don't know why I said that. And Paraguay, Uruguay to win their game. I'm predicting Uruguay to go up to 19 points. So that'll be, a big jump there. They go up to 19 points and possibly in the direct qualification spot. And for Chile versus Argentina, I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. So that means Chile will go up to 17 points. Colombia, Peru, I'm going for a draw as well, which means Colombia will go up to 18 points. Peru will go up to 18 points, which means that Uruguay will definitely go into 4th, and Colombia will drop to 5th. Peru would drop to 6th, and Chile would then drop to 7th. And Bolivia versus Venezuela. With Bolivia, I'm predicting them to win the game, which means Bolivia will go up to 18 points. And with an inferior goal difference, they would go just above Chile. And they would be behind both Peru and Colombia there. And, of course, they would be behind Uruguay as well. So, yeah, it's a bit complicated the way I'm doing that right now, but you get the point. It's going to be, a cagey affair come Thursday for sure. So thank you very much for listening. I'm your boy Dominic Rich. May the best teams prevail and qualify along with Argentina and Brazil. Look, it's going to be tough. I predicted Ecuador, Colombia, Argentina, Brazil, and Uruguay to make the cut for the World Cup through the playoffs and qualify as well. Those are my 5 teams. But guys, I don't think it's gonna end up like that. We're gonna see a surprise or 2 here, or even a few. All right, but we won't see any debutants for sure. So guys, I'm your boy Dominic Rich. Thank you very much for tuning in to another one. I just had to do this because I like to be complete, and I put a lot of effort into this. I did put a lot of effort into the Asian version as well, so go check that out. I do have the CONCACAF version coming up because those are the only 3 confederations playing in this international break in terms of World Cup qualifiers. Africa got the AFCON going on right now. Europe got their games coming up, I think, in March, and we have Oceania coming up as well in March, if I'm not mistaken. So we'll touch on those confederations a bit in the future, maybe in a live stream. But for now, I just wanted to give South America its own designated video, and just for my own knowledge, to just get up to speed with things and just to know what's going on as well. So that's very important. So guys, if you're new, subscribe, like the video if you haven't yet done so. Let me know your comments. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Don't forget to head on over to manscaped.com, who are the best in men's grooming. Use the coupon code Dominic Rich to get yourself 20% off plus free shipping. All the links will be in the description box down below. Trust me, your balls will thank you. So from your boy Dom, until my next one, peace out. Rich Squad. Peace.